Greetings and welcome to a new narration by DrTorment. The following story may prove a little sensitive to certain viewers and listeners. Discretion is advised, and consider this your one and only warning. Now, with that out of the way, let us proceed.
In the late 40s of the last century, after a decade of private research involving experiments with binaural beat brainwave frequencies, extrasensory cognition, and rare extracts of a South American vine, Dr. Thomas Roessner perfected a technique whereby one could actually intrude into the psyche and see another's thoughts. Despite having exhaustively documented his rigorous work, he could find no institution that would even offer to review it. Forced to sell his invention, he found, by word of mouth, among those through whom he procured narcotics, a prospective buyer. The bête noire of an old New York family, Mr. John M. Dunn, a voyeuristic connoisseur of the supernatural and the obscene, who had squandered his idle youth in the great libraries of Paris, those catacombs of departed authors, rummaging through their hoards of dusty and obsolete works. A literary ghoul who disturbed with profane fingers the charnel houses of decayed philosophies. He readily agreed to the doctor's asking price without haggling, delighted at the prospect of exploring such a bizarre novelty. Once adept to the operation of the apparatus, Dunn paid Dr. Roessner off, and under an assumed name rented a shabby house within view of Sing Sing prison. In the timeless night, while the convicts fitfully slept, with the aid of a set of stolen blueprints and his new mind-reading device, he raided their memories, cell by cell at liberty, to savor the forbidden thrill of thefts, molestations, moonlit homicides, all in secret, without remorse or consequence. Within a month, the prisoners, telling each other about the nightmares from which they had all begun abruptly to awaken, discovered they shared striking similarities. First, processions of alligators and tortoises filed through a swamp crowded with faceless people and shrieking orchids. Next, a shadow man, at whom they looked directly but never could quite see, would watch them in utter stillness from an empty house while invisible hands probed behind their eyes, as they had to stand naked, legs locked in place, unable to run away. Their compared descriptions of the house were identical, including its location just outside the walls. By mutual agreement, it was planned that the first of them to receive parole or be released would search this house out to find if it really existed, and investigate the source of their troubling dreams. A few days after being freed, their chosen spy was able to inform them with a smuggled message in code that not only was the house real, but he had broken into it and found a gaunt, mustached man in a silk smoking jacket, seated bolt upright, head thrust back, both eyes gaping, mouth stuck in a stiffened gasp, clenched hands gripping the arms of his chair in front of a scientific machine. A handwritten journal on the desk told the whole story of his adventures, prying unconstrained through their psyches, plundering the haunted memories of criminal after criminal, seeking ever more shameful and audacious experiences, until finally he wrote, on July 7th, of his overwhelming desire to witness telepathically the next execution in the prison's notorious electric chair.
Now this is an interesting one. Woven in the threads of forbidden knowledge and moral decay, Dr. Thomas Roessner delved into the realms of binaural beat brainwave frequencies and extrasensory cognition, culminating in a technique to intrude into the psyche and effectively see another's thoughts through what is described as a scientific machine. His desperate attempts to gain recognition led him to the fateful encounter with the nefarious Mr. John M. Dunn, a man of insidious proclivities and a penchant for the supernatural and the obscene. Being an occult connoisseur, Mr. Dunn eagerly acquired a mind-reading device and soon embarked on a clandestine odyssey of invading the memories of prisoners with callous disregard for their humanity. As the prisoners shared eerily similar nightmares, a revelation emerged. A house which stood just beyond the prison walls, the very place where all their haunting dreams converged. These prisoners, now comrades bound by shared mental anguish, uncovered the truth behind their visions, finding a macabre tableau and a handwritten journal chronicling an irredeemable descent into depravity. Within a dilapidated office of the house, there sat a gaunt figure frozen in death, surrounded by the remnants of his craven exploits. The aforementioned handwritten journal chronicled a descent into vileness, culminating in a morbid desire to witness an execution through telepathic means. This macabre tale serves as a profane testament to the depths of human degeneracy and the consequences of unfettered curiosity. A quite lingering reminder of the perils that await those who dare to trespass into the darker realms of the mind. On a personal note, the potential utility of such a device in more capable hands is undeniable. The mystery surrounding its whereabouts may indeed warrant a personally led expedition for its recovery, but alternatively, acquiring the notes for its construction through the estate of the esteemed Dr. Roessner could prove a more viable course of action. Whether through willing means or more assertive methods, the allure of personal touch cannot be denied, despite my preference for subtlety.